guys, this is Davey T at Field Sports Scotland. As you probably know, obviously, because you're looking at my channel when you're coming on to it. So obviously I'm Davey T from Field Sports Scotland. Anyhow, today video is about, does 0.1 grain make a difference when you are reloading for the 223? I know it doesn't really make a difference for the bigger centre fires like the 243 or the 6.5 or the 270. 0.2 does, 0.3 definitely does, but 0.1, I always thought it was dubious. However, recently I got told, well, yes, 0.1 does make a difference when it comes to the 223 and the smaller calibers. So I thought I'd give it a try. I had a pretty good group with the 25.5. Now, it's been a bit of a journey with this 223. I am doing a load development for a 55 grain varmint. So not the VMAX, what I normally use, but the varmint. And I'm using tack powder. Now, the Hornady book says that the maximum load is 24.7, but I never really got a good when I loaded up to the 24.7, I didn't get any good groups. It was pretty disappointing, to be fair, on what the groups were like. So after a bit of research and speaking to a few professional shooters who shoot PRS in the States and stuff like that, I took a bit of advice and I boosted the load slightly, and I took it all the way up to 27 grains, which is, well, it's over, it's 2.3 grains more than what the recommended books. Now, I'm not advising you should do this. This is not advice that you should do this with every round. Every rifle, every caliber is completely different, and if you can get a perfect group and perfect groups when you're reloading at the lower weights of powder charge, then stick to that, stick within your limits. But if you are going to push the load, watch for pressure signs and stuff like that. Now, I was getting some pressure signs for the 27 grain, but to be fair, most of my other loads that I've done for like Sierra 55 grains and stuff like that usually run between the 25.8 and the 26.5. So it's not an unusual grainage to be putting up further than what Hornady have said. I know everybody will talk about different styles of bullets and stuff like that, but genuinely most of my rounds shoot around about the 25.8 to the 26.5. So I knew it was within my safe parameters, so it was well worth trying. So I took it to 25.5. I went up in increments from 25 because I couldn't get any groups from 24 to 25. So, well, no decent groups, nothing I was happy with. I will put up some pictures if I've got them for those groups. Then I thought, well, I'm going to skip a few processes. Instead of going up on 0.1 or 0.2 increments, I'll go up on 0.5. So I went 25.5, 26, 26.5, 27. And my best group was 25.5, which was a really nice group. And with the night vision, I would have been happy with going with that. However, then I had that discussion with my friends in America, and they said, well, you might have a sweet spot between 25.5 and 26. So have a look at that and see if you can bring it in any further. So I did. So today I went over to the fields, ran up some loads, done 25.5, 25.6, 25.7, 25.8, and to see how things were good on them. And I got, sorry, not 25.5, 25.6, 25.7, 25.8. Didn't do 25.9. But 25.7 looked quite good. A bit weird on the 25.7, and I'll explain that a little bit more. And you'll see it in the footage. Now, I definitely didn't have a miss. I've looked at I recorded everything on the night vision. Now, I definitely didn't get a miss, so I'm presuming that I put 2 bullets through the same hole. It does actually look like it when you look at the back of the target. It does look like it's through the same hole. So if that's the case, that's going to be a perfect grip. So we I'm keeping an eye on all that, and I am going to run another 25.7, through it, and I'll test the speeds on that because I think that's the load I'm going to go with. Other than that, the 25.5 is going to be quite good. But it really is surprising how much a different 0.1 of a grain. Bearing in mind, I use a Lyman's Gen 6 and that only goes up in 0.1s. It doesn't give me the extra hundreds that I need, or the extra tens that ten thousandths that I need, to go up. So it is interesting on the 223. Now, I am fairly new to shooting 223. Now, or loading for 223, not shooting 223, but loading for 223. I've only been loading for the 223 for about 2 years now. So I am, and I'm finding it a lot of fun. It is very cheap. I'm using tack powder, which is fantastic. It's not hugely expensive. We're not talking £100 a tub here, like what I am for the other loads that I do. And bullets are far cheaper. Usually I buy boxes for under 30 quid, which is great. So I have the option to play. And tack, because you're only using around about 20 grain of powder, tack's lasting forever. You know, it's I've not even went through a tub, and I've must put 100 rounds through. So it's great. It's amazing. So it's been a lot of fun to get to know the 223 and get used to reloading, and it's great. The 22 is brilliant if you're just getting into reloading and you want to play about and actually see the science and everything that's going on in it, because it's a fantastic little caliber. Any of your 22s, 22 centerfire calibers are great if you want to get into reloading in that, because it is a far cheaper way of doing it. But as I said, the object of today's video is to see if 0.1 of a grain of charge makes a big difference, and you'll see it makes a huge difference. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll speak to you in a little bit. So the object of today's video was actually to see if 0.1 grain made a bloody difference to when it comes to shooting 223. It doesn't really when it comes to bigger centre fires like the 6.5 or 243 even, or the 270. But for some reason the 223 is a little bit more sensitive when it comes to powder charge. Now, I have quite a very good group when it comes to the 25.5. So it's a little string, it's about a thumbnail wide, which is sub MOA. But it's kind of strange. It really does make a difference at 0.1. So here we go. 25.6, that's the group. I'm presuming two are in the same hole there. That's 25.7. And that fairly large group there is 25.8. So as you see, it's a little bit strange. It really is a little bit strange. That, as it says, it looks like two holes, but I swear it's got to be one through the exact same hole. I fired 3 shots on each, so there's no way it missed. Didn't pull it or anything like that. Nothing else on the board. These ones are old ones, she's tapes over that. I've recorded on night vision. Night vision isn't great for zeroing. It's okay for checking groups though. So I'm not just so you know, anybody at reloads will know this, you're not going to get the centre of the target because my rifle's not zeroed to any of these rounds. What it is doing is telling me what the consistency is between these. The 25.7, if that's two in the same hole, that's pretty accurate. I might have to run another load of 25.7 to double check. Anyway, thought I'd let you have a look to see what the difference is just by 0.1 grain of charge in your cartridge. It's quite fascinating actually, really is quite fascinating. I'll catch you back in the rest of the video. So let's talk about these targets for this morning. So we have, well, this one was the 25.5 grain. Now the tape in the middle is, because I use the night vision normally, I can't pick up the dots, but I was able to pick up the centres on that you'll see in the footage. But there's a 25.5 grain. Now if we take the calipers and we have a look at, no, that's not zero, that's zero. What the size. It's not a bad little group, that 0.487 of an inch. Not a bad group at all. So that's the 25 grain. No, sorry, 25.5 grain. Now that was the best group I had so far until I started going over. Then the 0.1 grain of a difference. As you can see, it's winding up. It's quite a big difference now. You see the difference? I'm in the 25.7. Now I have measured the hole, and it does look like there's two went through this hole here. It's slightly bigger. I did look at the back of the target, so that is a relatively tiny group. See, we'll get it flat, get a better accurate measure instead of this fumbling. So 0.363 inch. So that looks like the one I'm going to go for. And then 25.8. Again, it's spread out again. So it just shows you that 0.1 grain of a difference is a big deal. Now I'll put photos up and I'll put further footage up on regards to the previous loads that I've did that led me to this 4 for today. But as you can see, from that's the two groups that I'll probably mess around with, 25.5 and a 25.7, probably 25.7 because I could easily pull a little shot, as you see from the footage, but there's no way I pulled it off the target. But then you just go from that to that. It's huge. That is a huge difference, and that on the 25.5 to 25.6 is a massive difference. It's a massive difference. So that 0.1 grain on the 223 really does make a difference.